Good afternoon, members of the Commission. My name is Mikayla Arciaga. I'm the Georgia Advocacy Director for IDRA. We are an independent, nonpartisan education civil rights nonprofit committed to achieving equal educational opportunity for every child throughout the United States, and particularly in the state of Georgia. I'm a former high school math teacher, APS teacher. I taught just less than a mile from this building. And I'm also here representing the Georgia Coalition for Education Justice, a coalition of more than 200 students, parents, educators, and community members from across the state, many of whom would have liked to have been here, but were not able to come to downtown Metro Atlanta in the middle of a workday with only 2 days' notice. I'm here to share our opposition to the 47 proposed education preparation rule changes. We are deeply concerned that the removal of language regarding diversity, equity, inclusion, bias, and culturally responsive practices signals a retreat from the commitment to serve every Georgia student and implies an inherently deficit-based lens to the unique traits that each child brings into our classrooms every day. Particularly our students of color, students with learning disabilities, and students who identify as LGBTQ. We are further concerned that these changes will not only harm students, but also will have a detrimental impact, as mentioned, on the recruitment and retention of educators, particularly our minority educators. You've told us that these changes were initiated due to confusion and ambiguity of these terms, but these are not new terms. These practices and this language aligns with national standards that make our educators competitive across the country, not just in this state. I started teaching in 2016, which is coincidentally when this language was added to the rules. I started teaching in Florida before I ultimately moved to Atlanta, and at that time, culturally responsive pedagogy and DEI were not a normalized part of our professional development process. I only learned these concepts in training sessions from outside organizations that I often had to seek out for myself. I know it's hard to exactly measure how that might have hurt my classroom and may hurt other classrooms around our state, but we do know that students whose teachers incorporate their background, identities, and social context into the curriculum report greater interest in schools, greater feelings of belonging, and more acceptance of other students. That is why it is so crucial for us to protect these practices for our educators across the state. By deliberately removing key concepts that equip educators with the training and guidance necessary to not only support diverse, equitable, and inclusive learning environments, but also to proactively work to eliminate bias and embrace cultural competency, the Commission is reducing opportunities for Georgia students and families to receive a high-quality public education tailored to the needs of every child. Retreating from our explicit commitment to DEI and educator prep will not only hurt students, but also our teachers. Georgia's teacher workforce is becoming increasingly diverse. This is an incredible trend, but our administrators must be trained in order to support those educators.